talked a lot about hip, shoulder, body alignment, and it's really important to have that down when we're getting into steeper terrain.
I'm going to need to start dropping my front shoulder, bending my front knee more than my back. So my back shoulder is up here so that if the slope is really steep, I'm going to be charging even more. And the funny thing is your body is telling you, no, don't do that. I should be leaning back, because that's just human nature. Is whenever you come to something and you're going fast, if I lean back, that's going to help me. But that's the worst thing you can do, because you're going to go in the back seat and you're not going to be able to steer, because you need to be steering with your front foot.
If I'm on terrain that's really steep and I'm not finishing my turns, that means closing them up and actually turning up the hill a little bit, I'm going to gain too much speed and get out of the rhythm. A lot of the time what happens is people don't finish their toe side turn and they're carrying too much speed to their heel side turn. They get the board around and then they get on their heels and they just slide slip because they need to bleed out that speed. So if I can really focus on that toe side and heel side alignment, finishing my turns, I'm not going to have to worry about one turn gaining too much speed and then bleeding out and skidding on my next turn. So it keeps me in rhythm. So a good drill is to really think about turning up the hill, and on my toe side turn, I'm going to be closed up a little bit more so that I'm turning up. That's my toe side, so I turn with my upper body like that a little bit more. And then on the heel side, since I'm turning on my heels that way, I would open up my upper body, my hip and my shoulder a little bit more to finish that turn. So on both of these, really think about looking up the mountain on toe and heel. Heel side, there's the back of the mountain up that way. Toe side, I'm looking up, closing like that. But I still want to think about my body being perpendicular and my shoulders, hips, and board being parallel to the slope. So as I'm making these turns, and if I'm having a hard time getting the board around to make a turn, really think about putting more weight on your front foot, being a falling tree, dropping that front shoulder. And if it's not helping, another thing to do is to try to touch the front of your board. That's going to make your shoulders be parallel to that steep slope. If I'm trying to touch the front of my board, I'm bending my front knee excessively, and then at the end of my turns, really finish them up. It's really important to get this down so that you can be effective and efficient riding out on the slope.
This is just one of the many tutorials that we have. Sign up for the full course at flowingfreeride.com.